And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on the show. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. We gonna take you up. I said we're gonna take you up to Nick Celtics. Actually about to go in 3 minutes. So I don't know. Anyway, we got the homie Tulsa in the house, man. Of course, he is part of the I'm Not Gonna Hold You crew. Also, one of the hosts of the Shirtless Plantain Show, man. Tulsa, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. I literally just got back to New York like 5 minutes ago.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah.
And you done ran in.
Yeah.
I have officially been knighted today. I just got my first kit today. Got my Arsenal 24-25 home kit. I know that they switch them up each year, so that explains why it was $40 cheaper than it usually was. So I was like, shout out to that. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. A lot of news dropping. We starting to get in the transfer season. We starting to see some potential signings, but all that kicked off today with Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, the Premier League champion. Liverpool is going to be rumored to going to Real Madrid. Now, we have already seen that he's, dropped the video and, explained his decision. Now, from what I've been told, because like I said, I've only been following the sport for 2 months now, but this has been a ongoing thing for the last 18 months. A lot of people trying to figure out what's going on. This is something that broke this morning, and it's been a lot of vitriol coming from Liverpool fans this whole entire day, feeling like they've been backside. I mean, blindsided, wondering why he didn't do this earlier. What's up? Everything saying he wanted to be Liverpool captain. Da 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 da, and also the fact that this is a guy who's been with this club since he was 6 years old, 20 years, and they feel betrayed. I've always been a proponent of athletes don't owe clubs, teams anything. Somebody told me, well, it's different than football. I get he's been there since a kid, but in sports, he's won everything. He's been 2 League titles, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. If he wants to go and play for Real Madrid, I feel like he should be able to do that. I'm not saying fans can't feel the way that they want to feel. Fans should be able to feel that we fall in love with these players. We follow these players. I was mad when Julius Pepper left us for the Packers. I get it. But I didn't go around calling him a traitor and a coward and you should never come back to the club. Tosin, what's your opinion on not just the move of him potentially going to Real Madrid, but what the fan backlash has been like?
I mean, they all got to grow up. I understand it. Like, I understand you're upset that like a player who you get came from academies leaving. I understand like the vitriol and all of that. But at the end of the day, he's 26 years old. He wants a new challenge. And he did more for you guys than Steven Gerrard did. So there's that. The first thing. Second of all, it's just like, it's just time, man. Like, he wants to go to Madrid and go to Spain. I mean, no offense to England, but I'd much rather be in sunny Madrid than much rather be in Liverpool. Just is what it is. So there's those two factors as well. But he also wants to challenge himself. They need a right back next year, and the best club in the world needs a right back. He's got his best friend there in Jude there, so it makes sense. And they're an Adidas team as well. So everything just kind of makes sense, just from a football perspective, off the pitch, everything just makes sense for him.
Yeah, I feel also too, man. Like people said that he should allow us to get something back. Like I always say, man, if the shoe was on the other foot, teams would have did him dirty. So like I never understood this. I feel like there needs to be, and I'm probably asking for a lot from fans. There needs to be a little bit of realism and also being a fan where like if let's just say Trent got injured or something like that, and the club would have got rid of him right away. They wouldn't have cared about his 20-year service and what he's done for the teams and things like that. So I understand the emotion. But in the day, he a grown man. He a grown man, like you said. You rather be. It's a new challenge. We can say whatever you want to say about Real Madrid and them having a mid-year and all that is true, but they are one of, if not the biggest club in world football.
I look at it like this: it's a job thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're not going to stay loyal to your job forever, right? This is not the 60s anymore. Whoever gives you the most money and gives you the better opportunity, you're going to go. That's literally his job is to kick a ball, and he's going to the best place for him. That's how you should look at it. At the end of the day, this is his job. He's going for the best place for him. Everything else is nonsense after that. Like, this is his personal decision. You got to live with it. You might not like it. You might not love it, but guess what? That's his decision. He made that decision. Deal with it and keep it pushing.
Now, on the Trent thing, how do you think he helps Real Madrid? Real Madrid has been a team that has had a lot of talent. They really haven't been that good this year. You know, they still have a chance, even slight chance to win La Liga. How do you think he helps them if it is official? Because I've been told that transfers aren't official until you see them niggas holding up a jersey. Is what
Yeah.
every football fan has warned me of. And how do you think Liverpool moves on from his absence?
So I'll answer Liverpool first part. They're partnering up promoting Conor Bradley from the academy and then just trying to keep everything kind of kosher that way, just keeping Conor Bradley. It's gonna suck because to me, Trent is not the best right back in the world when it comes to actual like being the right back, but when it comes to playmaking from that position, there's none better. So I think Madrid have been missing someone who can actually pick out a pass, and Trent's their guy. He's gonna create from deep right back. End up being someone like a Danny Alves where he just runs that whole entire right flank by himself. So I'm excited to see how he fits in Spain physically, tactically, and all of that because he's a great player. But it's just defensively, sometimes he's not the best. So I think he's going to do wonders for them because now Valverde doesn't have to play right back all the time. He can just be focused strictly on right back. So I'm excited to see how that looks with Trent as a as a Real Madrid player now. So that's really it for me. It's like they finally have a playmaker, but from a different side of the pitch. But Xabi Alonso should be coming in as their coach. So I'm excited to see if he's going to play a 3-back system or if he's going to play a 4-back system. That's going to be the one exciting thing for me about Real Madrid next year is like how do they switch up tactically?
Definitely. And it's rumors that I always be fucking his name up, big coach and Ancelotti, that's pronounced it.
They call Ancelotti.
Yeah, that he's gonna be coaching Brazil is from what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
as you should. I mean, he's had a great career on the pitch, great career off the pitch. Go to Brazil, man. Go enjoy Caprihanas in Rio, man. Enjoy your time. Go enjoy
I'm
your
all
time.
for people doing what they want to do with their careers. Go ahead, give, especially super accomplished people who have won everything there is to win at the specific job. So definitely shout at them. Let's move on to my club, my Arsenal team. It's not been a fun week, to say the least. Crazy thing was I was on a flight last Tuesday for the first leg, so I did not see the game. And I was like, I wonder what the score is. I actually paid for Wi-Fi for like 20 minutes just so I could see the score was. And boy, was I pissed when that ESPN alert said 1-0 PSG. But it just kind of been a long week. You know, not only losing the first leg to PSG, that Bournemouth game, that's when I knew I'm officially fan. When I tell you I was pissed, like, and you come out with that starting 11, which they didn't go out there and just throw bench players out there. They were trying to get this game, blowing that lead. And I don't care about the VAR thing that Arsenal fans have been yelling about for the last couple games. The play was why they lost that game. A draw wouldn't have been any better than the results you got. And then you look at how the Champions League thing is. Not only are we fighting to actually win the Champions League, we're fighting for our Champions League position. Yeah. You got Man City, who, as bad as the season they had, are 3 points behind us now. You got Nottingham Forest. You got Aston Villa in the background. You got Chelsea. Chelsea had a great week. You know what I'm saying? And all these other teams was like a 5-team race. Now, I'm not worried about them falling out to 5. And honestly, finishing at second, I know it don't really mean nothing, but the optics are terrible. If you let a team like Man City, who you've had problems with the last couple of seasons, finish ahead of you in a year that you were supposed to be a favorite coming into the season. So my question for you, Tosin, is do you feel like Arsenal's season is on the line this week? Because if you lose this game, the opinion of this season changes a lot.
See, I'm not of the opinion that Arsenal's had a bad season, even if you lose Champions League. I think that there's a lot of context that people fail to realize with this Arsenal team that, like, I obviously have privy to, being somebody who's watched the sport forever. Arsenal finally are like competing for big titles, right? They're finally in that space where, 2019, Arsenal were not here. Mikel Arteta's done a really good rebuild. I see a lot of fans saying they want him out. I'm like, to do what and to get who exactly? I think what you're seeing now is that this Arsenal team is they're at the finish line. They all see red. Like, they're all extremely tired. The players are tired. The coach is tired. The squad has no depth. I mean, Kai Havertz has obviously been injured for a while. Jorginho's been injured. So it's like you don't have enough depth in this team to kind of rotate. So you're just going piecemeal by piecemeal each game. So I think if you do lose on Wednesday heads will have to roll in the summer. You're gonna have to make some big moves, like figure it out, because you're right there. I think that's the thing Arsenal fans don't realize, that you're literally right there. You just need a few tweaks here and there. You need a striker. You might need another left winger, but you're right there. You're really, really close. So I wouldn't see it as a failure. It's just more so a building blocks. You have to get to that next stage. I think that's the next project for Mikel Arteta. And I was like, okay, you built this squad to this level. How now elevate it to the next level? Because if they lose to PSG, I mean, it's not the worst team you can lose to. Because I personally think that whoever wins between PSG and Arsenal is going to win the Champions League. I truly believe that. Whoever wins between the two is going to win. Because what I see from Barcelona is that's a very talented team who has a high line, whose line is higher than Rick James in 1984. Their line is extremely high. And Arsenal and PSG got enough pace to beat them behind, especially PSG. So I'm excited to see like how Arsenal and PSG match up, because I think whoever wins that. Like I said, but with Arsenal, like I'm saying, it's like I understand the vitriol. You guys want Champions League, you want to win the title, but you're not there yet. Your injuries literally decimated your season, and it just is what it is.
As somebody who joined the party late, I've done a lot of research on these last couple seasons, and from somebody who just joined the party, one thing I've learned: Arsenal fans remind me a lot of Bears fans. I mean, like it is just over the top, bro. Like Mikel Arteta, do I think he has issues? Yes. Do I think he relies? They always say he relies too much on his starters. To be fair, they deal with a lot of injuries, and this is not like an excuse or none. You have, Kai Havertz. He still leads the team in goals. You know what I'm saying? He ain't played in a couple months. You have some of your best players out. Bukayo Saka missed 3 whole months. And even now, you can kind of see even a little bit, he doesn't have the same motor. He's still trying to get back. And from shout out our super producer Nikhil, he's told me, prior to Mikel Arteta, he said it questioned my love for football. So I think you got to come and see just where it's been. And like you said, the last couple of years, they've been legit competition. Like, this is the first time they've been in the semifinals since 2008, 2009? Like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So it's like it's practicing patience, but at the same time, the firing Mikel Arteta thing is honestly insane to me, no matter what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with United fans when to fire Ruben Amorim. Like, shut up. Grow up. He ain't going nowhere. Okay, just grow up. Like, good coaches are hard to find. Like, and that goes for any sport.
In any sport, girl, you never know how good you got it until you get rid of a coach and you see something else. It was worse. I always say about one coach that Lovie Smith with the Bears, like when they fired him in 2012, I always said that was the right move. Replacing him with Mark Trestman was the wrong move.
Like Mark Trestman. I do not miss that guy whatsoever.
I was just like, oh my God. So, but I want to talk about the transfer window, because the transfer window, we're starting to see things. Now, I had a question for you that I've been Googling, and I just can't find an answer. So, for players who aren't in the Premier League, can they agree to a deal early? Like, because I saw something like when Erling Haaland went to Man City, he agreed in like May, but he didn't sign until July.
That's a complicated question. So, for example, like let's say I'm gonna use Olaina as an example, right? Olaina's contract ends in the summer. In January, Olaina could have talked to any team and agreed a deal as a free agent, right? Yeah. So you could also, like Giovanni Quenda's coming to Chelsea, like they agreed that deal in advance. So sometimes you can do a deal with the other team where like the player is set to join at a certain time. So that all just depends on the club. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Because we've been hearing different rumors, and I've been told multiple times, don't get excited about anything until you see that welcome to the Arsenal video on YouTube.
And a lot of that is like agent talk. Like agents want to
agent talk. I heard about
new deals. They want to find new clubs. So it's just all agent talk. So you just can't mind any of this stuff that's happening. Like just now, like Bruno Fernandes was linked to go to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, whatever, dude.
It changes by the hour almost.
Yeah. So
it changes by the hour. Now we're hearing Saliba might be going to Real Madrid. We're hearing stuff. Yeah, right. Say, but he's got to be convinced. And you hear different stories. But we've heard a couple things already. We've heard that Andrea Berta is really trying real hard to land Victor Gyökeres. We're hearing this morning that Arsenal is allegedly in serious discussions with Jamie Gittins. And then we're also hearing that the Martin Zumbati deal is basically done. Now, this is just like you said, pending. My two-part question for you. One, what do you think should be the absolute thing, like the first signing? And number two, how big is this summer for Arsenal? Is it a make or break to you?
I think the most important thing Arsenal should do this year is get two positions actually, get a defensive midfielder and get a striker. I think both of those two are paramount. For what I've seen from Declan Rice, that's not a number six. Declan Rice is he's not your actual defensive. He can do it, but that's
Yeah,
not the best use of
I
Declan
agree.
Rice.
When
Declan
they
Rice,
moved him, when they moved him to eight, he was hooping.
yeah, that's Declan Rice's position. He bombs forward. Like he's a box. That's how he's a box to box midfielder. Striker Arsenal needs a goal scorer badly. You need a focal point badly. Is it a make or break summer? I say for every team it is. I think there's very, very few teams in this world right now who just needs tweaks. I think Arsenal just needs like maybe 2-3 positions. They'll be fine. Liverpool need maybe 2 or 3 positions. PSG maybe need a position or two. But other than that, like outside of PSG and Barcelona, outside of those four, PSG, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, everybody has to go back to the drawing table and do major surgery. City, United, Chelsea, Inter Milan, AC Milan, everybody needs to do major surgery. Real Madrid needs to do major. A lot of people do. So for Arsenal, I'm gonna say it's a make a break. It's just more so get your shit together type of summer. That's what it is. Like stop getting what you want and get actually what
Get
you
what
need.
you need.
Yeah, this is a need summer, not a want summer. Get what you actually need. And once you get what you need, you can fill out the rest. But for Arsenal, I wouldn't say it's make a break. Like you guys are trending upwards. Arsenal's actually trending upwards. I think despite the doom and gloom, like the fans have to realize that like being a consistently top 4 Champions League team saves you financially. Number two, like you're competing. That means you're actually competing every year. Unlike a team like mine who's fucking losing, being in 15th position. So you want to be consistent staying up there. So just more so tweaking your team this summer. That's what it is for Arsenal.
Now, if this is anybody else but Orlando in the chat, I would have answered sincerely. Yeah, he got re-signed like 3 weeks ago, brother.
Yeah. You
Most
remember.
like, yeah. He got his deal a couple weeks ago. But Champions League, second leg. Tomorrow will be Barcelona and Inter Milan.
Yeah.
And then you've got Wednesday, Arsenal and PSG second leg. For me, I think the game of this week is going to be Barcelona and Inter Milan. The game first leg was crazy. I just really love what I see from Barcelona. Yamin Lamar is my favorite player right now. Like this young nigga is cold. Like, and I like his confidence, his swagger. I saw a video on the Barcelona Instagram account. He walking in the stadium playing 50 Cent a little bit. I know that nigga wasn't even born when that song came out. With the boom box.
That's all his dad.
That's all. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I was like 16 when that song came out. So I know this nigga wasn't born. But you got that. I personally think it's going to be Barcelona and PSG. I'm not saying that Arsenal can't win on Wednesday. My issue is the scoring. I feel like, at least at the time I've watched, and from other Arsenal fans have told me this has been an issue all season, they don't score like effectively, in my opinion. Barcelona can get down 2 or 3 goals, and they're going to be fine. If we get down 2 or 3 goals, it's going to be a problem. I think we will score the first goal, but I think it's going to be very, very hard. And I think for me, I got PSG winning. I think that the score Wednesday is going to be 2-1. They're winning on a 3-1 aggregate. I would love to be wrong. But how do you see these two matchups going this week?
PSG Barcelona for me. I'm also, by the way, alleged what Marcus Thuram did to that young lady. Nasty work, just disgusting. I had to get that out the way. I don't know what happened. I just know like it looks horrible. That's all I can say about that. I just think that I think Inter have run out of gas too. I think that they have some really talented players. Like I said, I mentioned Bastoni, I mentioned Barella, I mentioned Lautaro Martinez. I think they're very talented. I just think that going against Barcelona is going to be tough for them. I think Barcelona don't care. They can score at will. With Arsenal PSG, it's just, here's the thing about PSG. Like PSG fans are crazy. Like that's an insane atmosphere. The Parc des Princes is insane. Bro. So
that's crazy at the Emirates.
Yeah. And they were away, so now they're gonna be at home. They're gonna be turning up. So I don't know. I just have PSG edging it, and I have Barcelona beating Inter. So it's gonna be PSG. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit if I was wrong, but I definitely think it's gonna be PSG Barcelona.
I would definitely be tuned in the AFTV if the Arsenal loses that game. I know there's gonna be a lot of niggas losing their shit if that happens. But um, final topic of the show, man. We got El Clasico Part 2, I think. I don't know how many times. It might be Part 4 from this year. But Real Madrid playing Barcelona. I think this one is in Madrid. Is this one?
I believe so. Yeah, I
I
believe
think
it
it's in
is.
Madrid.
Mhm.
You got Kylian Mbappe. He's back. He had a couple goals this past weekend. And we got Lewandowski. He's gonna be back. So
Yeah,
it should be a good game. If Barcelona wins this, it will pretty much seal the La Liga title. So this is pretty much for the season for Real Madrid. Two-part question. First, I want to know what's your like. I see a lot of people. I've been watching a lot of podcasts saying that, Lamine Yamal is the next Messi, things like that. I've seen different people who played with both him and Ronaldo, so he's way across them. Now, in your opinion, is this something where people are just doing too much, or do you think he's in that cloth? Because a lot of stuff he's done at 17 is
yeah.
insane already.
I'm gonna give you the best 5 under 20 players, teenagers I've ever seen in my life. Obviously I didn't see Pele growing up, but Pele just by default is there, right? Played in the World Cup at 17, scored. So Pele is number one, obviously. The second player that I will say, and a lot of people are like, what is R9? Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
That is the greatest player to me ever. That's my favorite player of all time. What he was doing at 16, 17, 18 is stupid. Like the things that he was doing is dumb. Yamal's number 3 for me as best teenagers I've seen. And like, I'm only saying this because we all saw it. And if you watch soccer enough, I think that what Lamine Yamal is like he's this Gen Z's version of the first like teenage superstar they've ever seen. So they haven't seen much from the past, and I don't blame them. Like this is what they've seen, and I think Yamal is one of the best teenagers I've ever seen in my life. I genuinely believe that because he's already won a Euro and one of the best players in the Euros at 16, just turning 17, right? So he's incredibly talented. Like the thing about Yamal that surprises me every time is his playmaking and his vision, right? Like, at 17, you shouldn't be that good at picking out passes. That's some shit you develop as you get older, not immediately out the gate. So I think the hype is worth it, right? The hype is. I don't even think is enough. I think people should go even more overboard.
They should be doing more.
Yeah, the kid is special because he was born in 07, right? Like he started walking in 08. Like
That's
he was
so
walking.
crazy to me.
Yeah, he was walking like when Obama was president, bro. Like, like, what do you mean a kid who was walking during the financial crisis, learning how to walk during that is one of the best players in the world? It doesn't make any sense. So I do think that talent-wise, he's up there. And I think that what we're going to start seeing in the sport now is a lot of players peaking earlier and retiring earlier because I don't know how you're going to sustain this from like 17 to 35. That's 18 years.
I mean, like, just think about where he's going to be at 27. Like, he already got 100 appearances at 17.
That's absurd. Cristiano and Messi barely had 20 combined at that age, So it's a lot on the kid, but hey, listen, he's talented as hell. He's showing every week. So yeah. What was the other question too?
How you got this game playing out this weekend?
Ideally, I would love Real Madrid to beat them because Barcelona's wearing Travis Scott jerseys, and that's disgusting. I just think that Barcelona has a little bit too much for Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid right now are very injured. And Mbappe's playing very well. Yeah. Mbappe's finally playing well, but I think that they've figured out something that I want to see next year is put an Arda Güler in the midfield. I hope they do that more because he's actually really good through the middle, not on the wing. So I'm excited to see where they go from there.
Well, that's all we got for Soccer for Dummies. I got one NFL question for you.
Yes,
sir. How you feel about Tucker not being on Freaky Tuck not being on Baltimore Ravens anymore?
I mean, as soon as we drafted the kicker, it was over. I mean, if
you've been for football reasons,
yeah. If you've been a fan of the Ravens for as long as I have been since 01, you know how this organization moves. As soon as the first article came out, I was like, oh, he's done. And the more and more stuff coming out, I was like, first of all, he's declining, he's trending down. Like the Ravens, what they always do is like they get rid of your year early before you're too bad. But the thing is, I just knew Tucker was bad last year. He was missing like stuff he never misses, and then
never misses. Yeah.
Then you have the allegations on top of that, and the allegations were graphic. So I was just like, hey, the NFL, like they got their own PIs in the league. So if the Ravens are acting this early, yeah, it's a damning case. So it's not a shock. So we go with Tyler Loop. So, hopefully he gets to show out this year. He's made a 75-yard field goal, apparently. So we'll see.
Catch, I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HMB Media and the Barbers Chair Network.